doing roll.
Rolling.
Yeah,
so we live.
Yeah.
Before we do.
The theme tune is playing now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Just down in front. Theme tune is playing.
Pemmy, why were we talking about that film Steven Spielberg directed?
I don't know. We got onto it.
Do you know what it was? I know now. We were talking about Isaac Asimov and his screen
that's it. Because I always
adaptations.
thought that Isaac Asimov wrote AI.
And I was like, no, I would have known if he wrote that because I've read all the fiction that he's written.
You've literally tongued his arsehole, haven't you?
Oh, you're gonna watch The Foundation, or are you gonna give it a miss?
Oh, what, the one directed by Apple Films with a diverse and vibrant cast?
Yeah.
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
I've read the book.
Any minute now, the diverse and vibrant audience are going to turn up, and they're just going to be throwing fucking money at Disney.
The thing about the Foundation series, and this like arguments in philosophy's gone on a long time.
Is there either side that you can pretend a fascist? Like that's the most important part of a modern adaptation. Can we unfoundedly call somebody fascist in it?
Well, I will say that Warhammer 40,000 took the idea of a decaying, anachronistic, vast, galaxy-spanning empire.
We've been over this many times. I do not believe that they would take anything.
Because everything.
Someone as litigious as the Games Workshop have obviously got a squeaky clean record for borrowing stuff.
I know. Other people have said, critics jealous of Games Workshop's success, which, by the way, is publicly traded on the FTSE 100.
Yeah.
So buy stock in it now. They are. I must caveat with that. Your investments may go up as well as down. It is.
No, you're not qualified to give financial advice. That's what you say.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. Yeah. But anyway, Games Workshop have critics, and these critics make unfounded.
But before you finish that thought, please click and subscribe. It's a small thing for you, but it's a huge thing for us. Blah 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 algorithm. Blah blah blah. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. When someone's getting to the meat and potatoes of a point, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yes. We must interrupt.
Obviously, not with that much about Whiplash, but you managed to slide it in there. Like
we must cease like the point of what we were talking about to remind people that YouTube is a social media platform and you must interact with it.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and they don't want you to hear the Fortean truth. They're trying to suppress the truth seeking that goes on here.
You don't want to hear the hardcore truth, do you?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the hardcore truth.
We're the only shadow ban channel left on the internet. Okay?
Yeah.
Feel sorry for us.
Nobody else but us is shadow banned anymore. They stopped the shadow banning, except for us. They're like, no, the shadow banning will continue. And this is how I know that YouTube is part of the Woodwose occupied government.
Fucking paid what, 20 grand a year to be a fucking knobhead?
And the thing is, it's like Woodwoses don't even have a the Woodwoses don't even have a bank account. What are they going to do with 20 grand a year?
Yeah.
Like invest in beetles and woodlice.
Yeah.
So anyway,
they could buy a load of wood to leave on the floor to rot, which will give them.
I don't know. I think they've got shares in Homebase, haven't they, or something?
What, the Woodwose?
Homebase is dead. As a wise man once said, it's fucking dead. You can.
They killed that as well, did they? Fucking Woodroses, fuck's sake.
Well, the problem is because the Woodwoses took over Homebase, nobody can ever remember to go there.
Woodwoses were last seen leaving a Little Chef in 1997.
Yeah, Little Chef. I remember Little Chef. God damn, Little Chef was awful. God damn, was it horrible.
The Olympic breakfast was fucking mint, and the Big Seven.
Oh, not in Scotland. The Scottish ones are absolute ass.
Yeah, we had a
pre-Little Chef. Do you remember that one with the bloke sticking his fingers down his throat was the logo? What was that called? Happy Eater.
Yes, Happy Eater. We had a Happy Eater in our town, not a Little Chef.
And it was always the logo of a man sticking his fingers down his throat. So I don't really know what they were trying to accomplish with that logo.
Well, you see, the suggestion was you'll be a Happy Eater if you go somewhere else.
Or purge it, or puke. Our food's so good. You'll go to the toilet, puke it all up, and then eat it all again because it's such good food.
So good you'll want to eat it twice.
Yeah.
So, as people may have noticed, like critics make unfounded allegations against Games Workshop, saying all of its lore is derivative of other science fiction.
Yeah.
And one of these unfounded allegations that people make of Games Workshop is they say
naysayers. Some might say naysayers.
Naysayers jealous of Games Workshop's success and novel creativity, I might add. They say that the galaxy-spanning empire of man in 140,000 is derivative of both, a number of works. It's derivative of Isaac Asimov's Foundation and Empire series, with the anachronistic things. Because I remember there's this bit
Didn't the Games Workshop guys write it on an envelope at least when they were 5 or something like that?
So I remember the bit in this which I thought was very interesting was in the Empire series, you had these people that have forgotten how their faster than light ships work, and they've just got like uranium lumps which they're shoveling into a nuclear reactor.
Because that's how nuclear reactors work, isn't it?
Well, they do in the anachronistic Empire series.
It's like an idiocracy. Yeah.
Well, again, it's just people say, well, there's a lot of things like that in Warhammer 40,000 where, like, the penal crews.
Games Workshop was so Terry Pratchett. that seems like some Terry Pratchett.
Why, is there a giant turtle in it?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, there's like giant frogs and turtles and all sorts.
Giant turtle. Fuck.
Yeah, well, actually. In the Chaos Realms, you will have flat Earths or planets in it, because they have non-Eleucidian geometry. But the other thing it's derivative of would be the Michael Moorcock's Hawkwind series, where you've got the continent-spanning Empire of Grand Bretagne with its deathless people that are decadent. And the other bit, of course, with the God Emperor theme is derivative of Dune and the God Emperor of Dune, where you have this monarch living on the throne. Again,
all these people were tapped into the Akashic record.
I would say, like Nylon's co-discovery, it's just one of those happy accidents that
like they made Volcano and Dante's Peak at the same time.
Well, I always thought it was interesting. There wasn't it Deep Impact, but then there was another asteroid disaster film
that was the Bruce
released.
Willis one, wasn't it?
The
Aerosmith theme tune. What's that one?
Yeah. Oh, what was it called?
Armageddon. Yeah. And then there was A Bug's Life, but then there was Ants.
Yeah.
That's true. Yes, there was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was Babylon 5 and Deep Space Nine. Just purely coincidence that these. I think what it is when an idea its time has come, it just happens to pop into the head of numerous people at the same time.
That was Straczynski dropping the script off to somebody
to Paramount Studios. No. Deep Space Nine is 75% distinct, therefore it is legally a completely different fiction, and it bears no relation to J. Michael Straczynski's fictitious work of Babylon 5.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have any shapeshifters.
You didn't have
what in Babylon 5?
Yeah.
No, but you did have psychics, which used delusions.
But Betazoids already existed, didn't they?
Yeah.
But Betazoids don't fill people's minds with.
They're empaths, not psychics.
Yeah, empaths can sense you're having.
They're empaths.
Even Diana's mum, because Diana's
they just feel you.
No. Yeah, you're right. Deanna's mum, Loxana, she could she could only telepathically communicate with other Beta Zeds.
Yeah, because they can't telepathically.
Do you know what? I need to find out. Can Beta Zeds? I thought it
was just empaths.
Beta Zoid? Oh yeah, Beta Zeds where they come from, isn't it? Can Beta Zoids and Vulcans telepathically communicate?
No, because Vulcans, they're like contact telepathy, aren't they? They have to touch the person to do it.
Yes, Betazoids and Vulcans can telepathically communicate. See, I can say that word.
Yeah.
Through the mechanics and depth offered significantly from the interspecies interaction,
I always have struggled
Vulcan
with Greek
method
names, George.
requires. I always struggle with
those Betazoid names.
Yeah. So the Vulcan method requires physical contact for mind meld. Betazoid method capable of range telepathy, cross-species interaction. A Vulcan can establish a mental connection with a Betazoid without touch if the Betazoid is receptive or highly skilled, as Betazoids can actually receive directed thoughts. Conversely, Betazoids can sense the presence and emotional state of Vulcans at a distance, but they cannot perform a deep mind meld without physical contact.
Well, I was going to say that the question we were asking was, can they control?
So they are. Right. So Beta Z's. Oh, it's just Diana isn't because she's half human, right?
Yes,
Betazoids.
That's why she's only an empath, whereas her mother can read full thoughts.
She can sense when the captain is annoyed with her.
Yeah.
And do you know the thing is, like, the whole character of Deanna was supposed to be like, the ship's empath, because Gene Roddenberry was like, I believe in the future mental health will be as important as physical health, and as you'll have a ship's doctor, you'll have a ship's counsellor.
Big titty woman on the bridge.
I think you'll find we needed big titty women's everywhere. Not just on the bridge.
Yeah.
But then there was just this idea of like, oh, well, actually, the spirit of the ship is not going to be done by Diana. It's going to be done by Whoopi Goldberg, who wears a hat that looks like the ship.
Yeah.
And she lives in 10 forward, which is right in the middle of the ship. And I was just like, oh, and everybody's got like, oh, I'm feeling sad, Guinan. And she's like, here, try this. It's prune juice. Oh, this is a warrior's drink. And it's just like, and then meanwhile, Diana's just like listening to Howling Mad Murphy's sexual fantasies involving her, and like.
Do you remember that time Murdoch went through the transporter and became a god?
No, he gets zapped by oh yeah, because he's convinced that teleported bugs are real, and everyone thinks he's being a hypochondriac because, let's face it, he is. And then it's like, no, the teleporter bugs are real, and it's just that he could see them because he believed in them, whereas the others didn't.
Murdoch.
Well, I think it was just a case of like, because he believed in them, he could see them, and you knew what to look for, whereas everyone else just said, "Oh, that's a Howling Mad Murdoch tale."
Oh, come off it! We've seen you on the A-Team. We know you're batshit crazy.
Yeah, there's a thing on Twitter. There's a community there called Star Trek but Racist, and they talk about like it's Lieutenant Barclay's in the holodeck, and he's saying, "Holodeck."
Obviously, wouldn't laugh at this Hobbit because it's vicious and evil and nasty.
Yeah, no. Render a 30-foot tall replica of Councillor Troy. Give her severe lactose intolerance. And give her a table with an all-you-can-eat chocolate sundae buffet, and she is ravenously hungry. Remove all safety protocols. Engage.
That's Star Trek, but sexually deviant, Hobbit.
Well, I think the racism is like towards people of lactose intolerance.
Did you know she's from Catford, Hobbit?
Yeah, no, she's from Beta Z.
She's from Catford in England. This ain't Blinking Calais. This is Blinking Catford.
Deanna Troy is from Beta Z.
Yeah, the woman that plays her, however, is from Catford.
Oh, well, that's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? That's a different story.
So, are we going to get into the meat and potatoes of this episode then, a bit?
Well, I thought before we had the Marian Apparitions of the title, wasn't there somebody who married an apparition you wanted to talk about?
Oh yeah, where is she now? Not there.
Yeah, where is Bro Cardi B now? I think it's still in Oxfordshire.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm just going to look up Bro Cardi.
Yeah.
So Bro Cardi.
Yeah.
Rock singer, ghost hunter, and horror content creator. Oh, it's always good when someone calls themselves a content creator. Can you imagine Alfred Hitchcock?
It's like, does this mean she's unemployed? Is that what we're to infer from this self-description?
Would Alfred Hitchcock be described as a content creator or influencer now?
Yeah.
Nowadays,
I don't know. You influenced a few people to shit their pants.
Yeah. So Brocardi is the creator of an enchanting world where dark, haunting aesthetics meet passion-fueled music and lyrics. Do you know, the thing is, I know passion means people's like, oh, here's something I'm enthusiastic about. But, like, this year, the passion to me means, oh, yeah, the time when, like, Jesus sweat blood because he was so stressed out about being crucified. You know, or the passion of the Christ is like when Jesus was like nearly whipped to death and then crucified. You know, passion to me means like, oh, you mean when a horrible, violent, painful death happens?
Interdimensional delete, a bit quiet on the chat tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, what? How's my voice? Is it loud as ever?
Probably. You're probably booming over everyone else.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what? Let me listen to myself on the Rumble, because that's where all the cool kids hang out. Yeah. Because the people on the Rumble, they're not censored by the system. We're not shadow banned on Rumble. On Rumble, it's a free speech platform.
We're shadow banned everywhere, Hobbit. That's what you're supposed to say. We're shadow banned everywhere.
We're shadow banned everywhere but Rumble. So the cool kids, they're on the Rumble and they listen to the Fortean words, and there's a lively chat full of things I can't say, not because there's nothing coming up, but because, you know, the stuff can't be said on YouTube. And, I know.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Where's he gone?
Don't know.
I just heard oh no, and then he went quiet.
Oh, I'm listening back to the stream, and I got...
Are you booming over everyone else? Because that's how we know the sound levels are correct.
It sounded to me like I was about the same volume as everybody else, but I'm talking more.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I've messed up with the sound levels because you're supposed to boom all over everyone else.
So, not Marian Apparitions, but Brocardi married an apparition.
Yeah.
And it totally wasn't a cheap attempt at gaining publicity for being a mentaler. So, back in... it's on Reddit on a forum called Oddly Terrifying.
Well, she does seem like your typical Redditor, doesn't she?
Yes. I think you know what? From that angle, I can't say, but I'm just wondering if the chromosomes are XY or XX. Oh right, the sing.
Remember,
anyway,
if it has an apple, it has a banana.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And 2 plums. A songwriter and performer who goes only by the name Brocardi said she first met devilishly handsome Eduardo when he burst into her bedroom one dark and stormy night. I think she's from Abingdon. There are no dark and stormy nights in Abingdon. What can I tell you about Abingdon? It's got a Tesco. It's got a car park. It has the Abingdon Community Centre, a red brick building built in 1971. And generally it has some fairly nondescript semi-detached houses, which
do you want to know where she is now? AI's told me where she is now.
Oh yeah.
Moon.
Brocard, is that you call it Brocardi, I suppose?
I'm going to call it Brocardi B.
Who famously married and divorced the ghost of a Victorian soldier named Eduardo, is now
that's a very Victorian name, is
Eduardo. Now a full-time paranormal investigator and horror influencer based in Oxfordshire, UK.
What do you mean horror influencer?
Horror influencer?
Yeah, that's what she is.
If somebody is like a Satanist, are they a horror influencer?
Following her divorce, which she finalised via exorcism in 2023 due to the spirit's possessive behaviour and alleged infidelity.
Oh, no shit, no shit.
So she's embraced witchcraft. She travelled to Romania in 2024 to join a coven.
Witchcraft? Oh my god.
Learned witchcraft secrets.
Yeah, jump from the fucking pan into the fire, why don't you?
Okay. Can I just say, a couple of things here.
Hold on, can I just finish this paragraph? Because then you can talk about it. She learned witchcraft secrets and now incorporates rituals like charcoal baths and cauldron stirring into her daily life. That struck Hobbit completely speechless.
I just like I despair when I hear this story because I'm like, she'll think it's all fun and games until she's like, oh no, I've made a terrible mistake.
I'm being possessed by, I'm being fucking harassed by a poltergeist or demonic entity. I know. I'll go join the fucking witch cult.
Well, it's the
what
idea
the fuck is
that
a charcoal bath.
I'm just going to assume that she never cleans the bathtub.
It looks like the bathtub from the Young Ones.
Yeah, that's what she's got. But so here's the thing: like one of the things the Exorcists do is they're quite rigorous in ruling out the paranormal.
Oh my god! So a charcoal bath. It sounds even worse than I thought. A charcoal bath is a self-care ritual involving the dissolution of activated charcoal powder or charcoal-infused products in warm bath water. So basically, you get out of the water more dirty than you got.
Do you get in?
Okay, so activated charcoal is something that the NHS uses if somebody's been poisoned. Like they used to do stomach pumping, but these days they're more likely to administer.
What the army NBC suits, because everyone used to wear them back in the day. Do you remember when Alternate made it cool, Hobbit? You probably not quite old enough. Anyway, everyone knew a mate who could get you an NBC top. I think I've got one somewhere. Yeah, they got charcoal they're lined with charcoal. The army NBC suits.
Yeah, and just activated charcoal because it's well, the difference between it and normal charcoal is I think it's been ionized, and what that does is it just means like any free radicals, and poisons tend to be free radicals, it absorbs them readily. So it's like a filter for any nasties.
Do you want to know more what Brocardi's been doing? She expanded her career. She tours the world's most haunted locations, such as Bodmin Jail and the Queen Mary ship.
Actually,
for paranormal
rather than expanding her career, does it say anything about her expanding her anus?
She's adopted other entities, so she's expanded her family. She's adopted a possessed clown doll from the Clown Motel in Nevada, which she claims has made her ex-husband jealous, and has recently discovered a mysterious toy in her basement, which she suspects is haunted.
Yeah, I do remember that story where she gone to Clown Hotel to adopt a clown, and then it's like, oh, Eduardo's jealous. It's like, you had him exorcised.
Yeah.
He's banished. How can he? It's just okay. So here's the thing. I gotta say it right.
Oh, Hobbit! It gets so much worse. I've just got two quick more things to do. She's released music. She released a post-divorce song titled "Just Another Anthem," detailing her split from the ghost. And while she previously joked about becoming a nun due to her negative experience with men and spirits, her current focus remains on her music and paranormal investigations.
I don't think a convent would have her.
Well, yeah, especially if you've done witchcraft. I'm not going to take her.
Well, look, there are like okay, so here's the thing, right?
Unless she's like really, really sorry or whatever, fucking wants to.
Well, that's what I was about to say. If she showed any repentance for the evil she's done, then the convent would take her in, and they probably keep a close eye on her just to make sure she's not going to go back to her witching ways. But the thing is, like, look, I'll say it about exorcists, right? They are like the are they called the Psychical Society? You know, the ones which are very skeptical of paranormal claims. Mm-hmm. They have to be for their job, because otherwise, like, people who serve the devil would make fun of them and just say, oh, look at these superstitious witch doctors claiming they're exorcising people's demons, and really it's just a mental health crisis. So the exorcists work with a team of psychologists to make sure that any victim of a claimed possession doesn't have a more mundane, secular explanation for their aberrant behaviour.
I thought the demons did cause mental health issues.
Unfortunately, that's the problem, you see, because exorcists have to be so very cautious with their approach. It means that those which could benefit from an exorcism, like the schizophrenic, unfortunately won't get that service given to them.
As a YouTube channel.
No. Really?
That's nice. So anyway,
Oh, no.
let's just
Including
assume.
her hit song, Just Another Anthem.
Let's just take her word at face value there that she really did go to an exorcist. The exorcist said,
Brocardi has investigated the haunted download dog.
What?
"That's very interesting."
And the fictional whistling gunner of Noth Fort.
Okay.
And the Skirrid Inn. I don't know what the Skibbity Inn.
Skibbity bitty.
She's investigated the Skibbity toilet. Oh no,
What is a download dog?
She's got a song called "Feminist," which is F.E.M.I.N.I.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah. She's on YouTube at the Brocardi Show.
The Brocardi Show.
Yeah. I like the way Hobbit goes silent every time I mention Brocardi.
But let's assume that she went to an exorcist and satisfied the claims of you're not just an attention-seeking whore and you really are possessed by a demon, and an exorcism was done. I think as part of the aftercare and touching base with that...
No wonder you're in shadow band. We don't bleep out half of the words, and you say words like whore when you're supposed to say 304. That's why we're shadow band, you know, Hobbit.
They don't want us to talk about the truth of Brocardi, B.
Yeah.
So anyway, this fucking prostitute who's attention-seeking...
Hobbit, it's supposed to be sex worker. Actually, I don't know. Are you even allowed to say sex worker? I watch so many of these programs where you're like, what? The whole thing's going, because they're just bleeping out all these words. You're like, what the fuck is the point of trying to listen to this?
I fucking refuse to use that term. It is an offence to prostitutes everywhere. It is a disgusting
term. They should pay sex tax.
Yeah. So assuming like all of this done, and she really did get an exorcism. The exorcist, much like a doctor, would just say, "Look, we've done a major heart transplant on you. There's certain things you can't do, like eat fried foods in the future."
Yeah.
And if you can eat those fried,
Hammy, we've done the stomach stapling, but you've ate through the stomach stapling, and now it's just exploded. So you're gonna have to stop eating.
It would be made really clear and apparent, like, oh, you've had an exorcism, you've been dealt with demon possession.
Didn't Hammy just blow through a Zempic?
I don't think she's on the Zempic.
Oh, okay. Then I thought she was on it, but she just kind of blown through it with all the shitty sheets.
No, I mean, like, Foodie Beauty's on the Zempic, and she
that's the I'm thinking of. She's just blown through it, and she's just
she said recently that she ate too much food. Like, she ate a vast quantity of food in a single sitting, and she was violently sick and had diarrhea for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And that's the point of Ozempic. It's supposed to stop these fatsos from eating so much by making them violently ill.
Yeah.
And the idea is that they'll learn, I better not eat so much, otherwise I'll be violently ill. I don't like being violently ill. So let's just assume, right, an exorcist said this, like, this was a genuine demon possession, and this meant, like, the devil got a hold of you. Yeah. From now on, you're spiritually, like, immunocompromised, and you need to, like, do certain things, like go to mass daily, pray the rosary, have holy water in your house, take away all occult symbols and have crucifixes in every room. You would do certain things to ensure that your soul wasn't going to be compromised by malign forces. You wouldn't join a fucking witch covens and stir period blood and activated charcoal together.
And make vaginal yeast beer. Do you remember vaginal yeast beer? Oh.
It's like, look, I will say this, right, because people know I'm Catholic. Yeah, I believe that the sensationalist term is consorted with witches.
Yeah.
It wasn't to raise the devil. It was because I wanted sex, and there was mead involved, and she had big tits. All right. So, I will freely admit that she called herself a witch. She likes sex, and I was like, I'm game. So fair enough. Now, I don't think she was demon possessed. I don't think she had an exorcism. I think it's all a lie. And you know why I'm going to say it's all a lie? Because if it was all real,
Now, Hobbit, are you
then
seriously telling me a woman lied for attention on the internet? Are you seriously telling me this? Are you seriously expect me to believe that, Hobbit?
I am saying hashtag don't believe all women is what I'm saying. Yes. I'm saying that this Jezebel is is not something we should devote the first quarter of the show to. It was supposed to just be a 5-minute throwaway joke.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
Marian Apparitions, which doesn't mean to marry an apparition. What's that all about here, you say? Well, you see, long time ago, there was this woman called Mary, the Mother of God.
Not Marian.
No, I think she's called Mary.
You sure? I'll spell it Marian. You sure they're not Marian?
Yeah, right. So that's because the Latins change Mary to Mari.
Yeah.
And then if you say belonging to Mari,
Yeah.
you would say Marian. Yeah, but it's not. They call it Maria because in the prayer it's called Hail Maria, Ave Maria.
Ave Maria.
Which, yeah, it's a good song. I like that one. Yeah. So, yeah, no.
To be fair, I really do like. I don't like bagpipes at all, but I really do like the end of like. Is it Star Trek 2 with the Amazing Grace on the bagpipes? That gets me every time. That does.
Oh, I must tell you a fun fact about that. So, Amazing Grace was written by a chap called John Newton.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why I didn't place 2 and 2 together, because if you look at the lyrics, Amazing Grace that saved a wretch like me, because John Newton was talking about being a wretched man. It's like, yeah, John Newton was a slaver, and he was the slaver which collaborated with William Wilberforce to end slavery throughout Europe and then the world.
Is that and
so. Well, yeah, and it was just the idea of like the grace is so amazing that even somebody that owned slaves like John Newton could be saved, and I generally think it's belief, because he set up a charity whose name I forget with William Wilberforce, and
it's called the government.
Well, the British government did it, but there is actually like a charity which exists today to stop human trafficking, which is kind of like one of those euphemisms like sex work, which just somehow makes slavery like...
more palatable.
I don't like terms like sex trafficking, human trafficking, and sex work. I think there's something very vulgar...
grooming gangs. They
go
around doing girls' hair.
I find like all of these modern terms are more vulgar than the terms they're supposed to replace.
Well, it's because of what they're hiding, isn't it?
I don't think the term prostitute is a bad term.
Yeah.
I do think the term sex worker is a bad term. And I just, but again, maybe I'm just like some old fuddy duddy, and I don't like these new terms because I'm not bussing no cap for real. And the other stuff that the youth say.
Yeah, the youths.
Yeah, the youth say stuff like "bussing no cap for real." I know I'm down with the youth. So Marian Apparitions, right now.
I think the kids say that as well quite a bit.
Jelly tits arse is something that Mary, the Mother of God, probably would never say, because I think she was always described as being rather modest, and not like some
as Interdimensional Lizard says, they'll unalive your channel if you say naughty words.
That's it. They'll Canadian healthcare the channel. They will be self deletion of the channel. No, that's probably a bit too close to what actually is the process.
Anymore, I don't think.
No,
Yeah, like I say guns anymore. You have to call it pew pews. I think actually from what I've learned though, a lot of this stuff is TikTok. TikTok is who'd have thought communist China would have a dictatorial app?
Wait, no, I thought fucking they sold it to the Wisemans or something.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, Donald Trump made a fantastic deal. TikTok's now part of the US government.
Done a great job.
Great deal. So, what is a Marian apparition, I hear you ask? Because we know it's about Mary, but what does it mean? So, well, in layman's terms, it's
talking about
when
an apparition or a spook. I bet.
Yeah.
I am talking about an appearance of Mary.
Oh.
Now, some might say, but Hobbit, my mum's called Mary, and she makes an appearance, so like every
for me.
yeah. Marian apparitions are known as appearances of the Blessed Virgin Mary coming down from heaven to earth. These appearances are often paired with some type of message Our Lady wants to communicate.
You haven't seen Dragnet, have you, Hobbit? Right at the very end, spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers. And he says, last night I was out with Connie Swale. He says, because they call her the Virgin Connie Swale the whole time. And he goes, I was out with Connie Swale. He says, surely you mean the Virgin Connie Swale? He goes, nope.
Oh, that's... A gentleman doesn't kiss and tell, but I guess, like, I imagine that's something Bill Murray would say.
I think that's Dan Aykroyd's line. It's,
well, yeah, that's something Dan Aykroyd would say, and it's just like...
Do you know when Tom Hanks weren't like disappearing to other countries for just because the Epstein files came out and things like that?
I think that is a coincidence and slander, and more than that,
I didn't say anything. I just said it was just a bit weird that he just left the country when the Epstein files came out.
And more than that,
and Ellen, she went too. You know, it's
more than I would suggest that is an anti-satanic canard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen the latest thing with Coca-Cola? So you can order
it's got the Marlboro font.
No, you can order a can with anything on it. You can have Satan is king, Allah is king, but you can't have Christ is king on it.
What if I put Hitler as king? Would I be allowed that?
Probably not.
It's just, you see, somebody... What if I had, like, I know somebody called Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying who this...
The paperwork hasn't gone through.
I'm not saying who this person is, right? But let's just say I knew somebody called Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
And I wanted a Coca-Cola can, because his name's Adolf Hitler, that said, Happy Birthday, Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
51 years old, 51 years today.
Yeah.
I think he's around about 50.
He's probably about 55.
Oh, okay. 55 years today, this Adolf Hitler. Will I be allowed that? Because this person I know, that may or may not be a friend, is called Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Because he's just, it's Adolf,
you could probably have Adolf Schicklgruber.
Well, you see, the fact that his name shares a passing resemblance to some historical, obscure Austrian politician, I mean, that's neither here nor there, is it?
None whatsoever. Pure coincidence.
It's just a coincidence, like the Babylon 5 and Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
So, the appearances are often paired with some type of message Our Lady wants to communicate, like you should be paying attention and not getting sidetracked by the woodwoses.
Yeah.
I don't think our Blessed Virgin Mary's ever talked about woodwoses.
That's because she meant to, and then she forgot.
What do you think her stance on gnomes are? I'd love to hear what Mary had to say about them.
Gnome outside a train station.
Do you know what? That is a good question. Mary, and I know you're listening.
Yeah, big fan.
Big
fan of the show.
Yeah, well, actually, yes, you heard it here first. The Mother of God is a fan of Fortean words.
Yeah.
If you have bumped into a gnome in the train station before, if you could leave us a sign, it'd be greatly appreciated, because inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an encounter with a gnome? Now, I can imagine if Zero came back and was like, did you ever get a response from Mary?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Zero, come back. You don't have to do any work.
Come back. Do. Zero, come back.
You don't have to do any work. just come on and shoot the shit with us.
Yeah.
So she wants to communicate things like woodwoses. And depending on the nature of the message, of the visit, it can be anywhere from one short appearance to several over the course of years. There's always at least one witness to an apparition, and it is not uncommon for the witness to later become a saint or holy figure within the church.
Didn't one of the Fatima girls go into the church?
I think they died shortly afterwards. Like they had like incurable cancer or something, and they were like, "No, we don't want. We're not going to pray for cures. We've seen heaven and hell, and we've lived enough," which I thought was very brave of them, to be honest. But again, I think it just shows testament to the beauty of
there was an absolutely fantastic depiction for this. I'll put it up.
So, as one of the authors for Ascension Press says, there are moments when the Blessed Virgin Mary appears to us here on earth, letting us know that our prayers for us are being offered to God. For an apparition to be worthy of belief and devotion within the Catholic Church, it must be approved by the bishop. Yeah, so I'll read a bit more about this later, but I know some of you skeptics will be like, well, I don't believe in Mary and God and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because it's Marian apparition, and then that's the picture that comes up. It's Jesus appearing to a nun.
Which, is kind of like, no, we're talking about Marian apparitions.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a list of Marian apparitions you can get.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm reading from now. The ultimate guide to Marian apparitions. The thing is,
everything you wanted to know about Marian apparitions, but were afraid to ask.
Yeah, that's it. A reference to Marian apparitions for the rest of us. The Dummy's Guide to Marian Apparitions.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Dummy series? I like the Dummy series, but now people's like, oh, it's offensive. Can't call a reference to the rest of us.
We actually do have dummies now, so it's offensive.
You know how people get offended by being called saying the word retard?
Wikipedia want £2.75 now. It's £1 the other week.
How much?
They want £2.75 now.
What? Wow.
Somebody figured out if they all their donations, so they stopped asking, they would have enough to run the service for like 550 years at the current expenditure rates.
Yeah.
So you know what, Wikipedia, they're right for me. And then it's like, so what are you doing with all this money? It's like, yeah, they're funding stuff like gender neutral bathrooms in primary schools.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, this isn't about delivering the knowledge to people. It's something a bit nasty.
It's a bit like the R in a lie, isn't it?
Oh, what you mean the refugee tax? Yeah. We call them refugees because, of course, France is a war-torn country, and that's why they claim asylum here.
Well, it is now. It's got all those refugees in it.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's a war-torn country. You see,
France has always been a war-torn country.
This is what they do. They always flee their own people. That's the problem.
The violence they're fleeing from is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
So there was something about Wikipedia. No, we're not talking about Wikipedia. This episode is Marian Apparitions. So Marian Apparitions, right? You may be sceptical and say, I don't believe in God and all that. Don't worry, we'll get to you with the Our Lady of Fatima, because guess what? Skeptics are like, we'll show these idiot bumpkin children from the country. There's no such thing as Marian apparitions. So photographers went there and photographed Mary appearing. Now,
actually, Hobbit, that was a Fata Morgana.
Oh, it was a Fata Morgana.
Wait, so you're saying that some fucking photographers with slow ass shutter lenses in the 1950s could get a picture of Mary?
No, it's before
but
that.
We can't get Bigfoot.
The 1910s.
Oh, that's even fucking.
Do you know the funny thing is?
Exposure time on an oldie worldy camera. I don't think that was
seconds.
They literally had to get the fucking tent over them.
Everyone had to stand there for about half an hour.
Hold still, Mary.
Just speaking of supernatural photography, I mean, I don't know why we haven't done it sooner on Fortean Words, but there's been times when photographers have taken photographs of monks and nuns, and they're like, hey, who's that person in the background? It's like, well, there's no one in the background. It's like, yeah, but look at this photograph. And then they see it's a ghostly apparition of Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's like, did you know Jesus is in your convent? It's like, oh, well, we often suspected, but he never said anything to us.
Well, it's God's house, isn't it? So I think surely it goes as said.
I tell you what, if I was God, a place where people are praying, singing my praises all day, every day, I'd think, when I've had enough of the world and I get despair and stuff, I'm not saying God despairs, but you got to admit, there's got to be some times where he's just like, I really need a cup of tea right now.
Well, that's why he had the fucking day off, didn't he?
I bet he goes into a monastery and they're all going around singing his praises, and he just goes, this is more like it.
I bet he didn't go in during the 1300s. They were all having it off, weren't they? Because all those old ghost stories about nuns and monks having it off, and then they they were caught, and then they topped themselves. You know all those old ghost stories, don't you?
Yeah. Well,
dirty little buggers, weren't they?
The thing from that, I've been listening to Chad Ripperger, the father
you want to
Ripperger.
Call him Ripperburger, don't you?
No. Like aluminium, I can pronounce Ripperger.
Yeah.
Now,
aluminum.
Aluminium. Now,
aluminum.
Yeah.
Now, exorcist Father Ripperger has said that no, ghosts aren't the apparitions of your departed loved ones. They are demons masquerading as your loved ones in order to deceive you. And I thought, well, this makes a lot of sense, because the most common response to anybody seeing a ghost is to be absolutely terrified of them.
Oh, if demons are so clever, how come they don't ever come wearing shell suits? You never see a demon in a shell suit, do you?
I don't follow.
The ghost thing. You never see a ghost in a shell suit.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
It's basically.
Surely you know. That's
Hobbit.
That's a running joke on this show.
Contemporary ghosts never happened. Like you never see someone wearing fucking like a.
Oh, I do remember we had a conversation about this. It's like, why don't we have caveman ghosts?
Yeah.
They all seem to be like from the Elizabethan age or something.
Victorian at least.
Or Victorian,
Victorian, the most modern.
It's only the Victorian, then there's nothing, and then like maybe
or the Roman Legion
ghost.
marching through.
One Roman
York
ghost,
whatever,
supposedly, yeah.
Or Kirtlington.
Yeah.
The Foss Way goes through this village called Kirtlington, and which is strange, because I thought Foss Way goes.
Do you think in Egypt they have like ancient Egyptian ghosts? Do you think they have people walking around in towels and shit like?
Yeah, but over there, instead of them talking about ghosts, they talk about jinn. And the thing is, like, I think as much as
that's what I mean. Like, you're not seeing like the ghost of King Tut like roaming around like fucking.
Well, no. What I'm saying is like they're not saying like they're ghosts. Like we got this idea that ghosts are just your loved ones that are hanging around, or actually they're the spirit of some tormented soul who didn't make it to heaven or hell.
You ever read about like the Taiwanese ghosts and like Japanese ghosts? They're fucking evil. They are.
Yeah, because they're demons.
They literally are demons. They literally
are demons. Yeah.
This is
those ghosts in Thailand. They don't fuck around, mate.
As much as I'm critical of the Mohammedans, the one thing you can say of them is they understand these ghostly apparitions are malign forces, because jinn is just another name for demon. Yeah. So anyway, how is these Marian apparitions? Because somebody said, "Oh, I saw Mary the other day," and it's like, and did you got any proof of that? So. For an apparition to be worthy of belief and devotion within the Catholic Church, it must be approved by the bishop of the area where the apparition took place. This approval assures the presence of God and forces of heaven within the appearance, and protects the community of the faithful from influences may be contrary to the faith. Because let's face it, there's more than a few times where deception could get in.
There's some young scamps out there, aren't there?
So, do you want to know the Church's guidelines for approving Marian apparitions, or do we need to establish this, or do we just want the list?
Didn't they try and deny, like, Fatima to start with?
Well, again, it's like these days they tend to err on an abundance of caution, whereas back in like the olden days, I think people were allowed to be a bit more mystical about these things, and it was just accepted like, yeah, there is a supernatural world. And these days our world's very mundane, and it's I think probably a bit to people's detriment, really. But anyway, over the course of church history, there have been many reports and accusations of Marian apparitions. However, the 26 that have been approved as authentic and worthy of belief are spread all across the globe, from Japan to Wisconsin to Egypt. I didn't know she appeared in Wisconsin, but I have heard about like Marian apparitions in Egypt. In fact, do you guys want to carry on reading this bit, because I need to polish my glasses? They're getting a bit blurry. Oh, do you see the Ascension Press thing?
I do. I see.
Yeah. Well, he got the headline saying what's the church's guidelines for approving Marian apparitions.
I'm on a different one. I'm on the list of Marian opposition.
I thought I'd go for. When I do this thing, like, because I get annoyed with Wikipedia, I try to use any source that's not Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So if my tutor, if my organic chemistry teacher is listening, he wasn't actually a chemistry teacher. He was a crystallographer and physicist. But anyway, he taught me chemistry. If you're listening now, Owen, I think his name was Owen. I'm not using Wikipedia as my primary source anymore because I find it annoying and I find it's too political. So
the church is very careful when it comes to approving and recognising Marian apparitions. In fact, for the benefit of the bishops, church officials and the faithful, the Vatican released a set of guidelines to the public on approving apparitions and other revelations. Within the document, the church lays out 3 steps in discerning the authenticity of an apparition. Firstly, the question of whether the apparition and revelations given during the appearance is positive or negative is addressed. Positive apparitions follow general criteria holding great probability of factual content after thorough investigation, showing honesty of moral values, docility to the church authority, and capacity of returning to a normal regimen of the faith. So it obviously can't be groundbreaking. On the contrary, negative apparitions show the following: errors concerning the nature of the apparition, errors concerning the God, Mary, saints and or church teaching, evidence of the apparition being directly aimed towards gaining some type of profit. That's profit as in pounds and pence.
Money.
Yeah. The presence of grave immoral acts that were committed at the time of the apparition. Psychological complications regarding the witness of the apparition. Secondly, if the apparition proves to be of a positive nature, the church will go forward in allowing some type of public devotion to be celebrated. Third, lastly, the authorities at hand decide what level of authenticity and supernatural character the apparition displays, keeping in mind the possible offspring of ideas that could come from it. The document.
Well, I don't know if you want to
go on then.
Keep going.
Discuss.
No, it's very like, well, if it's negative and it's not in with the church teachings, then
yeah, we're gonna throw it.
I mean, Mary could appear and be like, the church is full of like demons, and they'd be like, oh, that's a negative one. No, it's not real.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how many negative ones have appeared then.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's recorded.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about Fatima, and that's why there's some controversy over it, was.
Oh, is that a negative one? Interesting.
Well,
it had negative. It had some negative, yeah.
Yeah, because this is just like all hot, hippy dippy hot. Oh, everything's love and.
No. There's times when Mary's just like, look, I've come down. Because generally, I like it when you guys pray the rosary and say Hail Mary and, you worship my son. But there's other times where, like, Mary's coming down and it's like, look, there's a crisis of faith here. You're going astray. You really must pray to my son for forgiveness. And I'm going to give you some warnings. And one of the warnings in the Fatima thing, which, again, I don't know, I wasn't there, this is what I've been told, is you must consecrate Russia to the Catholic Church. There must be reconciliation, so I'm assuming that means reconciliation with the Eastern Orthodox. And if Russia is not healed, then it will be used as a weapon to punish Christendom, which I believe means Europe, but probably also America, because... America is largely a Christendom colony.
look at the fucking Ortho Bros on YouTube. They're fucking punishing Christendom.
Well, I wasn't thinking so much of Ortho Bros. I was thinking more the case that the USA and Russia are fighting a proxy war in Iran, and before that it was in Syria.
To be fair, we fought proxy wars with them before that.
Yeah.
It just seems to like that's just the way of things.
Everyone's dicked on Russia, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the fact is, I think that Our Lady of Fatima was like 1913, and then was it 1940?
Well, I was going to say this is just before the outbreak of World War One, isn't it?
Well, in regards to Russia, when was the October Revolution? Was that 1917?
Yeah.
And that's when like Russia went into godless madness, and Lenin wanted to put everybody in gulags so that they could starve to death.
So do you think that's what it meant? Like, if Russia had become Catholicized, it wouldn't have gone that way.
Well, I wouldn't even say like, look, it's got to be this particular brand of Christianity. It's more a case of we've seen the consequences of godless. We've seen the consequences of godless.
It doesn't say that though. It doesn't say anything about mending a schism. It says it has to become Catholicized.
Well, it must be consecrated to the Catholic Church, which I don't know what that means. I'm not a scholar of this sort.
Made holy. Consecration is like being made holy, right? It's holy ground.
Is it? I mean that. All right, that's a pretty big thing to do then. So Russia has not been consecrated, and as a consequence, we saw probably one of the worst genocides in human history because of this godless atheist madness called communism, where people starved to death in work camps. And it was absolutely insane. Just,
right, do you want to know what AI thinks
about what?
The consecration demon in the machine. What it means?
Yeah, the consecration of Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary is a belief within the Roman Catholic Church that the Holy Father, in union with all the world's bishops, must perform a specific act of consecration as requested by the Virgin Mary during the 1917 apparitions at Fatima, Portugal. According to the messages received by the seer, Sister Lucia, so she's one of the three girls then, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so she became a nun.
Yeah. This consecration was required to prevent the spread of communism and the errors associated with it, which were predicted to cause wars, persecutions of the church, and the annihilation of nations. The specific conditions outlined for this act include specific mention: Russia must be explicitly named as the object of the consecration, rather than being included implicitly in the consecration of the entire world. Episcopal union: the Pope must perform the act in union with all the Catholic bishops of the world, and it must be a public ceremony. The act must be performed in a solemn public ceremony. The promised result of fulfilling these requests is the conversion of Russia and the granting of a period of peace to the world. While Popes Pius XII and John Paul II performed acts of consecration in 42, 52 and 84, many Catholics argue that previous attempts did not fully satisfy the conditions because Russia was not explicitly named in a unified episcopal ceremony.
So they couldn't even do it right.
Consequently, Pope Francis consecrated Russia and the Ukraine to the Immaculate Heart of Mary on March 25th, 2022, explicitly naming both countries during the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which was seen by some as finally meeting the specific requirements of the Fatima message.
It wasn't. It was not.
It's kind of like, look, the instructions are quite clear here, and they do it, but and it's just like.
What?
Would it be so hard to say, look, I am the Pope, therefore I'm the absolute monarch here, and we will have a prayer meeting of all. I mean, maybe it's got a different name. Maybe it's not prayer meeting, but it's like all the bishops in the world. You know, we got the internet now. We got telephones, what have you. You don't have to travel to the Vatican, but all the bishops in the world, we're all going to pray at this time.
Have a big team meeting.
So, I'm sorry, you guys in San Francisco and Japan, you're going to have to do it like 5 in the morning and 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
But we're all going to pray at this time. And we're all going to pray to Mary to consecrate Russia and to curtail communism or what have you. But And the thing is, actually, we could have done this even before internet. You just sent a letter out saying, look, at midday Vatican time, we will pray this prayer. And then the bishops in the various regions will have adjusted for the time zone. Gone.
Well, they could have worked out a time where it kind of probably puts everybody out, but nobody too far. If you know what I mean. There's probably some.
But the point is, even back in 1913, telegrams could have been sent out, letters could have been sent out saying, on this day at this month at this hour.
What month was she? What month did she appear?
Our Lady of Fatima?
Yeah.
Or shall we read the list of Marian apparitions, or shall we just skip ahead to Our Lady of Fatima?
We can continue. I don't know if you want to continue with that. Sorry, I did tangent there. But...
do you want to go on to establishing why we got these? How they established Marian apparitions?
Want me to read that then?
I'll finish off. The document also notes overall that the duty of approving apparitions first falls on the bishop of the diocese in which the apparition occurred. If the bishop has a hard time discerning the authenticity of the apparitions or revelations for any reason, the investigation can be passed up through the church authority. The Vatican can call for investigations to be had under its authority. However, we usually only see this in cases of either urgency or strong contraried opinion. If the bishop approves an apparition, it is worthy of admiration and devotion, and the sight of the apparition is worthy of pilgrimage. Having the Vatican recognise the existence of such an apparition is an extra bonus to this, solidifying the presence of heavenly intervention. While the Vatican acknowledged apparitions do tend to be more widely known and celebrated, their presence does not make bishop-approved apparitions any less significant or important.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, I'm sorry, but words go in, words go out. What I took from this to mean is that there's got to be some standard of do we satisfy the criteria here for a genuine apparition?
Yeah, but if the bishop thinks it is, but he's not sure for some reason that something's been said that it doesn't sit.
Then you can call his bishop mates in.
Yeah.
Then
he can call in Len.
So the only important ones.
Bishop Len.
There may be millions of these sightings, and only the important ones get sent up the chain or something, or what?
No. It's if it's cut and dried, it's definitely Catholic doctrine. That's fine. The bishop can do it, and then I assume it gets kicked up the chain for approval. But
if it's slightly negative, or it's
but if it isn't cut and dried.
If it's a warning, basically, it has to be shit up the chain, then kind of thing. Okay. Right. Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting because I often want, because it can't just be I go to my priest and it's like, I saw Mary the other day.
Yeah.
She was helping me do the dishes.
Yeah.
She was saying, I was doing some, I was putting the washing line. I said, Hail Mary. And then she said, you've done ever so good with your laundry.
Yeah. Mary was telling me to kill prostitutes, Father. Is that okay?
Well, I believe that's when the father would be like, that's probably not Mary. You see, whilst it could be said that Mary doesn't approve of prostitution because it sort of demeans the dignity of that person's life, because men can be prostitutes too. It's not just women that are whores. It's genuinely frowned upon to take someone's life, even if you don't approve of what they do. Although, if I was bishop, because as bishop you can do something called if not a bishop, if I was the Pope and I was doing something called a papal bull, where it's we got this new rule in the church, right? I would have an update on a new unforgivable sin, and if you do this sin, then it's that's it. There's no forgiveness, and the church can't absolve you of the sin. Yeah, all the people that leave half an inch of tea or coffee at the bottom of their mugs, unforgivable sin. You're done for.
I'm going to hell. I'm damned to hell. Then.
A lot of people would be damned with this, and that's why I'm saying there's going to be a special plenary indulgence where if you volunteer for no complaints, you just do the dishes for an entire year, then you have a special plenary indulgence
Guess
which
what?
absolves you of this.
I'm looking at my teacup right now, and there's a little bit in there.
No, the thing is, right, because I know some people get very scrupulous about like not getting into sin and be like, well, what about you? You've left a couple of drops of coffee in there when you drank it. Therefore, that residue means that you'll never get into hell. And you know, the funny thing is,
are you talking about? We're gonna have to consult the church father on that. Are you talking about
Yes.
if you leave a cup of tea on the side and forget about it, or is it got to be deliberately left in the bottom?
If you have willfully and deliberately, because there's the thing where if you've done a sin,
and it goes cold though.
Yeah,
no.
That's what I'm saying. It needs to be clarified.
Well, I'm about to clarify it for you now. If you commit a sin you didn't know it's a sin.
Is this the second council of Babe Station?
No. This is the first council of Fortean words.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, first council.
If you commit a sin, you didn't know it was a sin, and you didn't mean to, it doesn't really count. Divine mercy sort of works for that.
Yeah.
If you commit a sin and you knowingly know it's a sin, like leaving half an inch of tea or coffee in there because you're some psychopath that doesn't like drink everything that's put in front of
somebody
you.
Who thinks tea leaves are still a thing.
Yeah, if you're a psychopath that leaves like half an inch of tea at the bottom of the mug,
it's traumatizing, all right?
then that is a grave sin. You need to go to confession and you need to do a plenary indulgence, which is just a year of doing the dishes.
Interdimensional hasn't commented on this, but he hasn't.
Well, on leaving tea at the bottom of the mug or coffee, but this is the thing.
I would have thought even our friend, the cabbie, the Gabby cabbie might have said something.
You see, this is why I think this would be a good thing to invite like some papal discourse on the sin of scrupulosity. Yeah. Now, scrupulosity, for those that aren't aware, there are some people that like to be super scrupulous about it and call out other people's sins. Yeah. I believe
they're called orthobros.
Well, I believe they're called autistics or Puritans. Now, these Puritans like to point out the splinter in your eye, ignoring the log in theirs.
The plank in theirs.
Yeah, that's it. And one of the scrupulous things they could say, oh, look, you've got a couple of drops of tea left in your mug. You didn't drink it all. You're going to hell. Yeah. And I think what you'd point out with those people is just say, look, that shows that all of us, even those that try to do our best without God's help,
even those that have an internet channel berating people for not being the right kind of Christian.
Yes, you see, even though it shows that all of our souls are stained, and the absolution of sin in the confessional is like the fairy liquid which washes away the stains of the mug, making it new again. Yeah. God, I'd be good as a pope. I reckon I'd be proper like. I'd be able to use analogies to people's look. You are going to commit sins, but there is saving graces here. I wouldn't be a very good pope, actually. I'm not very pious. But anyway, so now Marian Apparitions. What's that all about here? You say?
Yeah.
So we got a list of them, right? Why are Marian Apparitions important to our faith? I would like to think that's self-evident. But we're not talking about faith because this is Fortean words. We want to know what's the spooky scoop on Mary. So at number 1, Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Have you seen the Britannica link on Marian Apparitions? There's a link.
I bet there'd be quite some good ones there.
There you go. There's the. That's better. If we're going to avoid Wikipedia, let's. It's got a bit with a Latin about the rules.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, you're gonna read that bit of it.
Oh, I was going to read about a Lady of Guadalupe.
It's literally if you on the Britannica link.
Let me click on the Britannica link and I'll read Lady of Guadalupe later.
It's just above Tables of Marian Apparitions.
So that's top questions.
So if you go left-hand side, click on Tables of Marian Apparitions and then just go up a bit.
Oh, all right. So if I go up from that, it will say, so we got the Nihil Obstat,
So these are the new norms of discernment from May 2024.
Oh, okay.
If you go up a little bit, it tells you what this.
Yeah, why was May 2024? But new norms in May 2024, the Vatican's dicastery of the doctrine of faith. I don't know what dicastery means. Yeah. Published new norms. In essence, the new rules were intended to streamline the process of discernment and give the Vatican, rather than bishops, greater say in the approval.
Why is the Vatican using office jargon speak? Hey, we've done some blue sky thinking. We're thinking out of the box, picking out the low hanging fruit.
I think it's a sign of the times, really.
Yeah.
But people like 500 years from now will say it was a very medieval form of speech they had in the 21st century. Bussing no cap for real.
Yeah.
So streamline. So the Vatican's got greater say in the approval of apparitions, although diocesan bishop remains responsible for organising an investigation. The Vatican must be consulted for final approval. Well, I mean that makes sense because
your bishop's first point of contact if you've seen Mary. Yeah. If you have seen Mary, see something, say something to your local bishop.
Well, no. The first person you'd say it's to your parish priest, who then inform the bishop. Yeah. But I mean, if you and the bishop go to the same pub,
say something.
Yeah, if you see Mary,
that should be the new Marian apparition rule. If you see something, say something.
I believe the rule is if you see Mary, say Mary.
Just not 3 times in the mirror and not bloody. Yeah.
That's the wrong Mary.
No, that's a different Mary. We're talking about Saint Mary, the Holy Mother.
Yeah.
So, determining an apparition's validity involves examining it for both positive... Oh, yeah, you said that bit. The new rules also changed the classification of these events before using the term supernatural. The declaration...
thinking, we're getting the low-hanging fruit. This is all good stuff.
Well, the declaration of which guideline says carries high expectations, anxieties, and even pressures. Instead of supernatural, an approved apparition will be declared nihil obstat, which in Latin means nothing hinders.
Yeah.
Nihil, like nihilism.
Yeah.
Nihilism, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was called nihilism.
No, nihilism, isn't it? Nihilism. Yeah.
Yeah, but the word in
named
Latin is
after
nihil.
Niall, who excommunicated you from the Catholic Church, I bet.
Oh yeah, he believes in nothing I say.
It's nihilism.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, but what if you know somebody called Niall and nihilism is just whatever they believe in at that time? you know what? I just think for the sake of my sanity, because the word comes from Latin nihil, I'm going to call it nihilism.
Yeah.
I think actually the word annihilation comes from that, to render into nothing.
Annihilation,
Annihilation. Now, I've just scrubbed this with my microfiber cloths and I've made it worse, not better. Does it work better with the glasses?
I bet you shouldn't be scrubbing your willy while we're on screen.
Glasses! Get your mind out the gutter. We're talking about Mary here.
Yeah.
Now, so it's nihil obstat, which grants the diocese permission. I do struggle with the ecumenical words.
Yeah.
It gives the, I'm going to call it the parish, because that's what it means. It gives the parish permission to allow and promote public devotion, such as celebration of masses or pilgrimages. There are 6 conclusions they've been reached about an apparition. So the first one is nihil obstat, presents many positive criteria, no aspects of confusion or risk thus far, advises local bishop to encourage and promote devotion. So if there's nothing contrary to the faith...
So what is devotion? Is devotion an ecumenical term? Does it mean something specific? Is it like religious legal language?
I think in this case it'd be like if a Marian apparition appeared in a church or a shrine or somewhere, there'll be like it's you can make that church, that parish is now devoted to Mary because Mary appeared there. So the churches near Fatima are devoted to Mary. The church in Lourdes is devoted... So it doesn't mean
devotion as in belief in Christ. It kind of strengthens devotion to Christ.
I think devotion means like... Actually, I don't know what devoted means, but if someone's devoted, it means they're really into something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
For real, no cap.
Yeah, that's it. They're devoted to the cause. Yeah. Now, pre oculis play oculis habetur, it should be kept in mind. Presents
have struggled
positive
with Greek
criteria,
names,
but also
George.
aspects. I do struggle with that. Those Latin names. You see, the thing is that I do Latin by rote memorization. So if someone like says Paternoster, I can say Paternoster quis ingelis. It should be kept in mind. Presents positive criteria, but also aspects of confusion or possible risk. It advises local bishop to show discernment in encouraging devotion. Yeah. So that's like, the step below nihil obstat.
Like Richie
and then
said
below
that time, have some discernment.
Yeah, have some discernment, man.
Yeah.
Curatura, it is taken care of. Oh, like a curator. So curator means present significant negative criteria, but has also attracted widespread devotion. Advises the local bishop not to encourage further devotion and to promote alternative expressions of devotion. So, Our Lady of Fatima, I think, could almost be called a curator because it is like it has resulted in devotion to Mary and Jesus, but also there's quite negative criticism because
said you need to sort your shit out and
and the Pope kind of
play nicely with your brothers.
Well, yeah, that's it. And the Pope's just like, no, I'm not sure I want to do that. It's like Mary has told you what to do. Come on, this is your mum, Pope. Literally, well, Mary's all of our mother, but the fact is...
if the Pope is the earthly representation of Jesus on earth, then she is like the representation of his mum, isn't she?
Yeah, and that's it. And it's just like, you wait, it's literally like, when your mum asks you to do something, it's like, please, and you're like, oh, right, mum, I didn't want to do it, but because I love you, I will.
Yeah.
And it's like, that you're a pretty bad son if Mary's asked you to pray for somebody and you've not done it. Submandato. Oh, now there's a good submandato.
Submandato.
Submandato means under command. Yeah. Presents positive criteria, but also aspects of misuse or exploitation by a person or a group of people, such as financial gain. And funnily enough, I was talking to someone in my parish this morning, and he says, he was talking about one of the sites, and he says, oh, unfortunately, it's so commercialised there that my wife and I don't make pilgrimage there anymore. We prefer to go to this other site. Because I was telling him about my grandmother's name and saying she's named after a nun, and this nun had a Marian apparition. So, submandato, advises local bishops to intervene to resolve the matter.
Well, no, that African group, they had a couple of hits in the 90s.
Oh, I can't remember the name, but I know what you're on about.
Lady Man, Black Man, Barzo, was it, or something?
Is it Black Uhuru you're thinking of?
No, it was Lady Man, Black Man, Barzo. Hold on.
Africa Bambata.
Yeah.
Prohibitor e hang on, I need to get close because my eyesight's a bit... Prohibitor e obstructacora. It is forbidden and obstructed. Presents some positive criteria, but also critical risks. Advises the local bishop to prohibit devotion and explain to the faithful the reasons for this decision.
They did a Heinz advert, and that's how they got Lady Smith Black Man Barzo. That's what they were called.
Great name.
They were on a soup advert, and then they got famous for a bit.
And finally, there is Declaratio de non supernaturali, which means declaration of non-supernatural. Oh, I struggle with those English words.
They have an album that's called Music from Inala, a Zulu ballet.
It's a declaration of non-supernatural. It's not supernatural, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Signifies.
It
signifies a vision. After I read this.
Declaratio de non supernaturalite.
Yeah. But I'm saying the English bit afterwards.
Oh, the declaration of non-supernaturality. That is a bit,
yeah.
That I do struggle with those English words.
Do you know what's funny about that? They're like the longest non-technical word in the English language is flockinhouse inhidification, and I've got no problem pronouncing that.
Flocky knocky palification, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it written down in years. I did it on the spelling test once when I was like 11 years old, just to prove that I figured out spelling now. Oh, it's funny. I never used to revise my spelling tests, and then come the day of the test, because I wasn't too bothered, I'd just pretend to know how to spell.
It's Flocky Naki Nihilification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just means something that's not useful in it, something.
Yeah, or worthless.
Yeah.
The declaration of non-supernaturality is the most serious of these conclusions. Credible witnesses may also contribute to such a declaration if they present evidence to the claimers based on the fabrication. Mythomania, which is an abnormal propensity for lying or exaggeration, or erroneous intentions.
What's that? Oh, there's also that Welsh railway station. That's something.
Oh,
Land
of
go.
Yeah,
Go. Something, go, and it as well.
But I believe that's not an English word, so yeah. Now, additionally, only the Pope can declare if an apparition is indeed supernatural. Now, do you want to do Lady of Guadalupe?
Oh, you want me to do that?
Oh, go on. Fraser, do you want to read one of the Marian apparitions?
Yeah. Why are you shouting at me? Wow.
We're at the table. We're at the table.
Oh.
So literally, all you have to do is click on it, and the page comes up.
We're at the table. All right.
I'm shouting for joy, Fraser.
The Britannica Fraser.
Okay. That's just like you were shouting at me for. Fucking hell.
I didn't realise my voice comes so.
You have a tendency to move,
at the table. All right, we're at the table. So we're going past the tables, then, are we?
No, you go onto the table, and then you see Our Lady of Guadalupe, and then you can click on it, and the page comes.
Our Lady of Guadalupe. All right, okay. Yeah, okay.
They say that to me in church, that my voice does carry quite well.
Yeah,
yeah, because you're shouting all the time.
I've been told that about my laugh.
Me. Right, okay, so Our Lady of Guadalupe. In Roman Catholicism, the Virgin Mary, in her appearances before Saint Juan Diego, in 4 visions in 1531. The name also refers to Marian apparition itself. Our Lady of Guadalupe holds a special place in the religious life of Mexico, and is one of the most popular religious devotions. Her image of a woman of mixed indigenous and European features, Mezita, wearing a turquoise-coloured mantle surrounded by a sunburst, has also played an important role as a national symbol of Mexico. Appearances to Saint John Diego.
Do you know, I've actually got a wonderful story about that. Now, it's there's a Lithuanian priest called Chris Allah, I think his name is.
Chris Allah.
Yeah, Chris Allah. Well, you know, it's one of those Latvian or Lithuanian names which I do struggle with. Yeah. Now, he was talking about the hidden life of the Holy Family, like, you know, what happened before Jesus did his ministry, and you know, how did Saint Joseph die of hard work? Now, one of the bits in it which I thought was fascinating was Mary was a good seamstress. Everybody noted like how good she was in her work, but she wouldn't do anything immodest, because even back then there was, like, you know, slutty fashions going about, and she was just like, no, I won't sew that. Now, Jesus said, look, Mum, all I want from you is just one tunic, and that's it. I don't need anything else. And Mary was just like, look, you're my son, and I'm not having you walking around barefoot all the time. I insist I get you some shoes. And he did a compromise. He said, all right, Mum, look, I love you. I will get some shoes. But when I do my ministry, I'm going to go around barefoot. It's really important people understand, like, poverty and charity and humility and stuff. So he got some shoes. Now, the thing is, his mum never made him, like, new tunics, like, oh, you're growing up, you're 14 now, you're getting a bit tight around the chest.
Yeah.
No, he had the same tunic throughout his life, and the only time it got taken off was when the Roman soldiers tore it from him to put him on the cross. So if you imagine, the robe was always clean, always looked nice, never frayed at the edges, and it grew with our Lord. So the reason I mention that is because one of the incredible things about Our Lady of Guadalupe is the local fabric is made out of this fiber from a cactus or an aloe plant, and it's pretty brittle, and it will last about 50 years at best. Well, that garment's over 500 years old now, and it still looks as new as the day it was made.
Oh, did you know there's a song called "Smoking a Doobie" by John Pardy? It's so it's "Smoking a Doobie" on the Guadalupe.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, have you ever heard the song "Welcome to Tijuana"? Tequila, sexo, marijuana.
Yeah. Right. So should we go on to the Jean Diego?
Yeah. I'm adding because that's like a fun story which won't get mentioned in the apparitions.
Yeah. Okay. Well, according to tradition, Mary appeared to Jean Diego, who was an Aztec convert to Christianity, on 4 occasions between December 9th and December 12th, 1531. During the first apparition, she requested that a shrine to her be built on the spot where she appeared, Tepeyac Hill, now in the suburb of Mexico City. However, the local bishop hesitated to act on this request. Mary appeared to John Diego a second time on December 9th after his meeting that day with the bishop and told him to return and try again. On December 10th, John Diego met with the bishop, who this time demanded a sign before he would approve construction of a church. Mary then appeared a third time to John Diego, who told her of the bishop's demand for a sign. On December 12th, she made her 4th appearance, ordering John Diego to collect roses from the hill and bring them to the bishop. Miraculously, there were roses blooming on the hill, despite it being winter. Moreover, the roses were native to Castile, a region of Spain that was homeland of the bishop. In his audience with the bishop on that day, John Diego opened his tilma cloak, letting dozens of roses fall to the floor, revealing the image of Mary imprinted on the inside of the cloak. The image that is now venerated in the Basilica Guadalupe. Mary is also said to have appeared to John Diego's dying uncle, John Bernardino, yeah, okay. Restored him to health. Okay.
Busy old time then.
Yeah. Posing views of the apparition's authenticity.
He put a fresh print on his on his cloak, and then I think is that the print from the cloak there?
Yeah, that's supposedly it. That is the print of it. Yeah.
Are you putting up on the YouTubes?
Yeah.
Okay, so the traditional view has been questioned by various scholars and ecclesiastics, including the former abbot of the...
Do you mean ecclesiastic,
Yeah.
Fraser? That's...
Ecclesiastics.
So church people.
Yeah, including the former abbot of the Basilica of Guadalupe. The primary objection is that there is no documentary evidence for the apparition until 1648. Critics claim the documents purporting to be from the 16th century are actually from the 17th. Critics have noted that the bishop approached by John Diego was not consecrated until 1534, and he makes no mention of John Diego or Our Lady of Guadalupe in his writings. Defenders of the Virgin of Guadalupe, including Pope John Paul II.
That's an engraving I've just put up. It says engraving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
who canonized John Diego and declared Our Lady of Guadalupe the patroness of the Americas, accept the authenticity of early documents, and point also to various oral accounts of the apparition. Okay, so they've had a hard time pinning down exactly when he was.
When you're saying he opened up his traditional Aztec garment, whose name I've already forgotten.
Is that with the children's ears in it on the inside?
Well, no. This is the one made out of cactus fibers.
Our Lady of Guadalupe is the only one with a hyperlink.
Well, the thing is, it reminded me of this.
Fatima's got a hyperlink.
It reminded me of.
Sorry, Fatima's the only other one with a hyperlink on it.
It reminded me of this other Marian apparition that happened in Rome, and I think it was in the 3rd century. And I was convinced it was called Our Lady of the Snows. But it's like, no, that's the name of various church. Because I was looking online, it's like, oh yeah, it's a church in New York, it's a church in Prague. But I can't find anything about the church.
You didn't get mixed up. You're not thinking of the one of Our Lady of Salette, which you thought was Our Lady of Salopet, which is what you wear when you go skiing.
No, no. What it was, and the reason it was such a supernatural apparition was Mary appeared to somebody in Rome in the 3rd century, or maybe it was the 13th century, and she said, "You will build a church where I give a sign, and the sign will be snow." So it snowed in August in Rome, which is pretty hot in August. You don't really get snow in August.
Yeah.
And it was like the snow there. And the reason I mention that is because I think it was...
that's in Ireland. There was Our Lady of Knock, which was in August 1879.
Yeah. And which I'm looking forward to that feast day for personal reasons. Now, I am I'm sure I saw it last week. No, not last week, sorry. Yesterday, when someone was showing, oh yeah, here's the cathedral, Our Lady of Snows in Rome, which was built on the area where it snowed. And to celebrate it, they open up the roof panel from it, and they chuck in all these white rose petals to signify the snow that fell down, to say this is where you will build the church. And I find it was like a very touching story. Well, they always are a touching story, but...
So are we doing all of them, or do you just want to do some...
Well, the thing is, it's like there's so many...
There was Our Lady of Zion in 1842.
No, you tell me about that.
Let's have a look at this one then. Our Lady of Zion. I've got to find the links. There's only 2 that have hyperlinks on that table.
Well, I'm going to be looking for one as well, because it sounds like a fun story. Our Lady of Laos, but not
Laos, not Vietnam.
No, not Laos, Pol Pot Laos, but Laos as in Our Lady. Oh, actually, she does look a bit slitty-eyed in this one.
Have you seen the most recent one, which is Our Lady of Gibeho, and that is in Rwanda?
Is that the most recent Marian apparition?
Yes, it is, in 1981.
Oh,
November
wow.
28th, 1981, and November the 28th, 1989. There was 2.
Blimey. I didn't know there was a Marian apparition within my lifetime.
So why have they stopped for over 40 years then? If they were like...
Well, no, 1989 is less than 40 years.
Hold on a minute, no, the bleeding... Oh, these are different. Are the notable Marian apparitions. So they're just...
Oh, notable. Oh, right, okay.
Oh,
so yeah, like I was saying...
Notable 2016 is the most recent one. That's the Bleeding Madonna of Trevignano.
I remember that one.
Yeah,
the statue was
started bleeding from the eyes, didn't it?
It was crying tears of blood, which is...
didn't you want to talk about Our Lady of Akita?
I believe you did, and yes, we certainly do. Just before that, I saw one which I thought was interesting. Our Lady of Laos, now, is a place in France, LAUS, so maybe it's Laos, and the Refuge of Sinners. Right, do you know the date of when this apparition happened? And I think this is kind of telling. It was in 1666. Situated in the Dauphiné in southern France, at the foot of the Alps, just southeast of Gap, is the Vale of Luce. Its name means lake in the local dialect, as there was once at the bottom of the basin. There's once one at the bottom of the basin. In 1666, the hamlet held 20 households scattered in little huts. The inhabitant...
Just a quick sidebar. Our Lady of Zion is so cool because it caused the miraculous instantaneous conversion of, you guessed it.
What, of Holy Mount Zion?
No, a cosmopolitan Jew.
So it's nothing to do with Bob Marley?
No.
It was an apparition in Israel?
No, it was actually in...
Jordan? Syria?
What the fuck is it?
Because the Golan Heights borders Lebanon and Israel.
You know what miraculous medals are, Hobbit?
Yes, I wear one.
Yeah.
Oh, so is that
she was
where...
distributing them, apparently. She was going around... Sounds like it was his father was president of a provincial council. This was Alsace. This occurred in.
Oh, okay. So not like, because there was I think a vision at Mount Carmel, and that's why you have Carmelite nuns.
I can't think of Carmel without thinking of Waco.
Americans.
Waco, isn't it? That was Mount Weren't the building called Mount Carmel?
Well, there's probably quite a few places called Mount Carmel because of Jesus did a Sermon on the Mount, and I think that was Mount Carmel. So now, anyway, the inhabitants, they built a chapel dedicated to the Annunciation, Notre Dame de Oricont, Our Lady of the Good Encounter, meaning Annunciation. Right. Recont is recounting. It was here Our Lady chose to appear in another good encounter, several times to a humble.
Notre Dame means? Did you say?
Notre Dame means Our Lady. Yeah.
Oh, Our Lady. I thought you meant good encounter.
The good encounter would be Recont. So she appeared several times to a humble, unschooled girl, which they put Bial. I don't know what that means. Bial Benoir Recurel. Maybe it means bloused.
Maybe she was wearing a blouson style jacket, Hobbit.
A blouse-on style thing. It's a style of jacket which is shaped like a blouse, so it's a blouse-on.
Which only journalists and coppers have ever seen.
I have looked at like fashion guides as to what a blouse-on jacket is.
Yeah. No, it's a blouse-on style jacket.
A blouse-on.
That's the specific vocab. It's style jacket.
That is police terminology. A blouse-on style. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Benoit said, I asked my son for lust for a conversion of sin. Oh no, this is Mary. I asked my son for lust to be for the conversion of sinners, and he granted it to me, said the Blessed Virgin to the young shepherdess.
What, she was a sinner?
No, it just says that that this Hamlet should be for the conversion of sinners.
Oh, so she just did the Miss World thing. I want world peace. Do you remember? Do you remember Miss World when they used to go, "What do you want? Oh, I want world peace." Do you remember how she used to say that?
I want puppies for every good schoolgirl.
Yeah. What if they don't? What if they're allergic to dogs? No, you still get a fucking puppy.
I want them to not be allergic to puppies. It's not Benoit, it's Benoit. I'm going to call her.
I always have struggled with Greek names, George.
I struggle with French names. Had learned suffering early in life as she was born into extreme poverty, which was made worse when her father died when she was only 7. CRS was born in 1647 in September, but 2 months.
I don't think seer is gendered, is it?
Well, in this case, because it's French, yes, it is. Everything's gendered in there.
It's a type.
Do you know the crazy thing about the French? And I've since asked them. I said, "Is it true? Like all water is feminine?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "What about Perrier?" And then they'd be like, "La Perrier." Oh yeah, you're right. Perrier is masculine. Why? I have no idea. Nobody in France can explain to me why Perrier is the exception to water.
Have you tried asking Macron because he's the president?
No, you'd have to ask the Society for Preserving the French Language about that. They probably would have a reason. But anyway, so this CRS, she 2 months before the birth of Saint Margaret Mary, future confidant of the Sacred Heart. The Sacred Heart's another name for the Holy Mother. I think creditors were unrelenting to Benoit's widowed mother, so her children.
In France, it'd be the Sacred Blue, wouldn't it? The Sacred Bleu.
Oh well, Sacred Blue means like blue blood for royals.
Yeah.
Sacre Coeur is also another exclamation they say there, which is Sacred Heart. Creditors were unrelenting to Benoit's widowed mother, and so her children had to labour to maintain the family. Benoit was not only a help but a protection for her mother.
And if you told kids today, they wouldn't believe you.
Yeah, that's it. Who had faithfully taught her children the Our Father, Hail Mary, and the Creed. I think that means the Apostles' Creed. One day she saw some men heading for the house and she ran to warn her mother, fighting off one of them who dared to offer her money in exchange for her virtue.
Oh,
Oh dear,
dirty
that's
bugger.
I believe that's far more a thing. A legitimate business transaction for sex work is the modern.
Like that woman that put her virginity on eBay.
What, Belle Daphne?
No, there was a woman that put her virginity on eBay. Maybe we'll talk about that. It's very Fortean. We'll talk about that at the end.
Yes. So the virginity was like not for sale, I assume. Here we go. Yeah. So. Right. By the time Benoit was 12, the family. I'm probably saying the name wrong. I'm very sorry. Look, if you're French, how do I pronounce Benoite? Beno? Beno.
No,
By the time
this
Beno.
doesn't sound good. Just the most notable case of a woman putting her virginity on auction on eBay.
Do you know what? If I put that into Google Translate, it will tell me how to pronounce that, won't it? Translate.
It means she was the most successful. Is that what?
Yeah. It just means she isn't the only one.
Yeah. This has been tried before.
Yeah, the most notable. Ugh. What fills you with dread, doesn't
it? Fuck.
What? You still can't.
Sorry, I'm just getting frustrated with it's not. Benoit. So her name was Benoit. Right, okay. So by the time Benoit was 12, the family. By the time Benoit was 12, the family was in even worse strait. So she took employment.
On a minute. She was offered offered to sell her virginity before she was 12.
What?
Yes, I believe this is why Mary was saying look,
dirty French buggers.
This Hamlet needs to be converted for sinners.
Fucking hell, it needs scouring. I don't know. I don't know about.
I believe these French people were rootless cosmopolitans asking this. They were traveling merchants. There we go. A traveling merchant offered to buy her virginity. By the time, hang on, I've forgotten how to say that word again.
That whole valley needs some God.
By the time Benoit was 12, the family was in even worse strait, so she took employment tending sheep for two masters at the same time. Now, just for those that don't know, the Holy Family, Mary and Joseph, were very poor, and Joseph worked as a day labourer in Egypt, where he was basically like doing DoorDash and like Mexican labourers and stuff like that. He was
like an olden days Matt Jarbo. Is that what you're saying of it?
I'm saying he was like an olden days Mexican subcontractor who sometimes wouldn't get paid for his work because they threatened to call ICE on him and deport him back to Judea. But unlike the Mexicans, he was actually a really good craftsman. So they were a poor family. So I think this is
why they couldn't afford a. So they didn't really get refused room at the end. It's like, we don't want poor people mucking our beds up.
Well, yeah. Funny enough, the real ale twats have a version of the Nativity where it's like there was room in the inn, but it was the innkeeper was the real ale twat, and they're just like, we'll go sleep in the manger.
Yeah.
So by the time Benoit was 12, was even worse strait. So she took employment 10 sheep for two masters at the same time. Thus, it was in the bosom of deprivation, sacrifice,
I guess
and prayer.
Saying that virtue is looking right appealing about now.
Well, no one said sin wouldn't be tempting. That's the whole point about sin. It is like seductive. Yeah. Thus, it was in the bosom of deprivation, sacrifice, and prayer that the future saint was preparing for her predestined mission. In May of 1664, she was 17, praying the rosary, her favourite devotion, watching her flock.
Did she still have her virtue at this point? Do we know?
It doesn't say. Watching her, I would assume she'd have been married if she. So she was watching her flock when suddenly an old and venerable man, well, venerable means old, clothed in the vestments of a bishop of the early church, came up to her and said, "My daughter, what are you doing here?" I'm watching my sheep, praying to God and looking for water to drink. I'll get some for you, replied the elderly man, and he went to the edge of a well that Benoit had not seen.
Did he say, does this smell like chloroform to you?
You're so beautiful, she said. Are you an angel or Jesus? I am Maurice, to whom the nearby chapel, which was then in ruins, is dedicated. My daughter...
Maurice.
So Maurice, he's saying, I'm dedicated to this chapel, which at the time was in ruins. So, he's very old bishop. My daughter, do not come back to this place. It is part of a different territory, and the guards would take your flock if they found it here. Go to the valley above Saint-Jean. That is where you will see the Mother of God. But, sir, she is in heaven. How can I see her there?
Isn't this Gilles de Rais territory, Saint Etienne? Wasn't that about where it was?
Well, Saint-Etienne is... I don't know. But anyway, she's saying, go to the valley above Saint-Etienne. But she's saying... Anyway, Maurice is saying, yes, she is in heaven, and on earth too, when she wants.
Was Saint
Very
Etienne
early...
doing a gig there then, were they?
Well, I think the place was called Saint-Etienne. Very early the next morning, Benoit hastily led her flock to the indicated spot, Le Vallon des Fours, which is the Valley of Kilns, so called because the hill above this valley contained gypsum, which the village inhabitants extracted and fired to make plaster for their buildings. Benoit had just arrived in front of a little grotto that was on the site where she saw the lady of incomparable beauty, holding a no less beautiful child by the hand.
Is it me, or does Mary like appearing in front? She do like a grotto, didn't she, Mary?
I got a story. I'll tell for off the air. It does involve a grotto.
Isn't Lourdes a grotto?
Yeah,
probably
it is actually.
Mary likes grottos, and it's good if you have one.
If you got a grotto, there's a good chance you can have a Mary sighting.
Yeah. And so anyway, in front of this little grotto was the apparition of Mary and her child.
Is a grotto like catnip to a Mary then, is it?
Grottos are conducive to Marian apparitions, it seems. So Benoit was ravished by the sight, which I find is a queer turn of phrase, but there you have it. Yeah. Despite Saint Maurice's prediction, however, the naive shepherd girl could not imagine she was in the presence of the Mother of God. Thinking that she was seeing a mere mortal, she said very instantly, "Lovely lady, what are you doing here? Did you come to bathe and plaster?" Then, without waiting for an answer, she asked, "Would you be so kind as to give us this child? He would delight us all." The lady smiled without answering. Charmed and won over, Benoit admired the beautiful lady. At mealtime, she took a piece of bread and said, "Would you like to eat with me? I've got some good bread. We can dip it in the spring." Oh, some bread with water. We are being fancy.
Oh,
yeah.
The French delicacy of soggy bread. Will you come eat some soggy bread with me?
A very humble meal of bread dipped in spring water. The lady smiled again and continued letting her enjoy her presence.
Spring? Is that why she's dipping the bread?
No, this isn't Foodie Beauty we're talking about here. The lady smiled again and continued letting her enjoy her presence, going in and coming out of the cavity in the rock, approaching Benoit and moving away from her. Then, when evening came, she took the child in her arms, entered the grotto and disappeared. The following day and for the next 4 months, Benoit contemplated on that site the joy of angels and the ornament of heaven. If you're wondering what that noise is, Hemi's ringtone set to maximum volume.
I just keep getting messages.
He's got this special phone which does 110 decibels for a text notification.
Does that actually sound really loud?
Imagine if you had Hobbit's voice on your phone, Hemi. That would be.
Whenever I'm near a microphone, it just amplifies the background.
No, Hemi.
I don't know why every microphone I'm near does that.
I've been to Fortean Towers, and regardless of what corner I was in the palatial estate, I could hear Hemi's phone go off. It's quite a piercing notification noise.
I barely notice it. Is there something wrong? Am I deaf or something?
I think you know how when the smoke alarm chirp beeps.
Yeah.
That's you with text messages. The following day and for the next 4 months, Binuit contemplated on that site the joy of angels and the ornament of heaven. I assume these are titles for Mary I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
The shepherd's girl face, she's got a lot of titles. The shepherd girl's face was transfigured right from the start. She shared her happiness with everyone in cheerful simplicity. Seeing the change in...
Are you sure that's the word you mean?
Yeah, it says here the girl's face was transfigured right from the start.
What does that mean?
She shared her happiness with every... It uses some very floral language here.
This might be like ecumenical language.
It's quite flowery language, yeah. The happiness with everyone in cheerful simplicity. Seeing the change in her, people began to wonder, what if it should be...
So transfigure means to transform, change the outward form or appearance of, specifically use the transfiguration of Christ, to give an elevated or glorified appearance to, or character to, elevate and glorify, idealise, often with direct or indirect allusion to the transfiguration of Christ. Does that mean her face looked Christ-like? Is that what they're saying?
She had a beatific vision. She literally saw the Holy Mother, and you know this is a very humble shepherdess whose idea of a fancy meal is good bread dipped in spring water. So we're not talking about some vain snob. Well, we're not talking about a vain snob, are we? We're talking about someone who's very simple, plain and humble. And the fact that she's been transfigured by her beatific vision, I may be getting the term wrong, but Colin, you've seen the Mother of God. That's not something you see every day, is it? That's special. And because of that, the people in the village, the hamlet say, what if it should be the Blessed Virgin she is seeing? Binuit did not know this herself, and she'd never dared to ask the lady who gave her all this joy who she was. Before making Binuit her friend and dispenser of her graces, the Blessed Virgin strongly attached the shepherd's girl's soul to herself with irresistible attraction. Then, after 2 months of silence, she made her her pupil and began to speak in order to teach, test, and encourage her. Putting herself on the level of the mountain girl's uneducated mind, the Queen of Heaven condescended to familiarities. But I know condescended is a nasty term, but it means she's talking down to her. Condescended to familiarities that would surprise us if we did not know Mary's goodness is boundless.
I wonder if condescended is like an ecumenical term as well. Like condescended to like come down from.
Well,
not like as in like snooty or anything.
Yeah, I mean these days it has got a negative connotation, but it's not nasty. It really isn't. But our world is nasty, so these words get perverted, like gay. Gay used to be quite a happy word. Now, so anyway, she's condescending down to her. One day, our tender mother invited Binuit to rest by her side, and the weary child went peacefully to sleep on the hem of the Virgin's mantle. Another time, doing as mothers do to teach prayers to the children, she had to repeat word by word the litany of Loretto, then enjoined her to teach it to girls.
Wasn't she doing the sheep thing for her family, or has she just been booted out because she's 16 now?
No. Her dad died when she was 6 or 7. I forget.
Okay.
Because it was a long time ago when I read that. And so she's anyway. So the Litany of Loretto, which enjoined her to teach the girls the Sonnet and go to church with them every evening to sing it there, with the sweetness and patience of a mother. Well, what do you mean, the patience of a mother? She is the mother. She formed her gradually in the view of the future mission. The pious young girl was still uncouth, quite stubborn, and readily impatient. Before the Virgin Mary personally...
Uncouth as in fucking hell, John.
In a case of like when she's watching like the sheep mating, she's like, God, look at that. Isn't that funny?
Look at the cock on that. Look at the cock on that sheep.
Look at the pair of bollocks on that ram. So,
it's amazing how language changes, though. Like, what uncouth just means like rough around the edges, like not fight. Like now it just means fucking hell, John.
Well, I mean that is rough around the edges.
Yeah.
It's just things have become a bit more vulgar since then. So anyway, people would. Oh, here we go. Right. So, where the sweetness and patience of mother, she formed the gradual. Yeah. Before the Virgin Mary personally revealed her name, she initiated Benoit in the role that she was to play all her life, to work at the conversion of sinners through prayer, sacrifice, and a special vocation, exhortation of, for God had granted her the charism of reading in hearts. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Consequently, she was often given the heavy task of correcting souls and of disclosing their sad condition to them. Oh, okay, so she's able to read like the hearts of men and say that this is what troubles you. So she's like Diana Troy.
So she's a bit. I was going to say she's a bit like the Shadow. Do you remember the Shadow?
Well,
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? That was the Shadow, wasn't it?
Oh, well, okay. I was going to say she's like Councillor Diana Troy, just to sort of call back to earlier in the episode.
She
Do
needs
you remember
to get herself a Will Riker, don't she?
I was going to say she needs to get herself a Lieutenant Barclay.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
the thing
because he
is,
had a massive crush on Diana Troy.
well, yeah. Well, a sexual infatuation, if you remember the holodeck therapy episodes. But this is the thing. She would have dealt with someone like Barclay and said, "Look, you're not the sad, pathetic pervert people make you out to be. Your life has value."
Yeah.
And that's actually like one of the missions of mercies nuns do, where they deal with sinners like this and just say, look, God loves you despite what you've done, and wants you to love him. So anyway, you see, when needed, she would remind them of their forgotten or hidden sins and urge them to purify themselves of them. A striking conversion, among many others, occurred to give credit not only to the apparition, but to the seeress's clairvoyance as well. Benoit's employer, Mrs. Roland, a woman who had no interest whatsoever in...
Like in Granger, Roland.
Yeah, Mrs. Roland, with two L's though, had no interest whatsoever in religion, wanted to see for herself what was going on at the site of the apparition. One day before dawn, she went in secret to the grotto, entered before Benoit, and hid behind a rock. Benoit arrived, and a few moments later she saw the beautiful lady. And so this is Mary saying, your mistress is here,
now you make
over
me think
there.
of hello, the beautiful lady. Do you remember the Italian general, the beautiful lady?
Well, it's generally accepted that everybody that's seen Mary has remarks on how beautiful she is. So Mary said to Benoit, your mistress is over there hiding behind the rock. Tell her not to curse with the name of Jesus, because she keeps it up. There will be no paradise for her. Her conscience is in a very bad state. She should do penance. Yeah. The employer, who had heard everything, tearfully promised to amend, and she kept her word.
She also heard Fraser and said, Fraser, you got to stop using the word fuck as punctuation.
Mary came to Fraser and said, Fraser, we have this...
That hasn't happened yet, so, like...
You see, Mary came to Fraser and said, we have this thing called a comma, use it. News of the apparitions began to spread. People were talking about them all over. Many believed in them, but several others were incredulous and treated the shepherd girls a false mystic. Among the many people who supported Benoit were the little girls of St. Stephen's, who, like her, loved Mary with all their heart. To repeat what we summarised above, the Blessed Virgin said to her, tell the girls of St. Stephen's to sing the Litany of the Blessed Virgin in the church every evening, with the permission of the prior, and you will see that they will do it. Indeed, once they had learned their lesson, the litany was chanted every evening with great devotion. It might be interesting to point out here that Laos is the Diocese of Embrun. Since 1638, the year of the consecration of France to Mary by King Louis XIII.
So why did King Louis do it, not the Pope?
Well, I think he said, look, I'm dedicating to Mary, and then the Pope said, yeah, I rubber stamp this. Okay. Good. So I think, if Russia was to volunteer to dedicate themselves to Jesus, then then the Pope would just rubber stamp it and say, "Welcome into the fold, my flock." So what we get.
What is Putin supposed to be? Is he religious at all?
Putin has got to do a tight balancing group between Muslims, animists, and Orthodox in Russia. It's quite, in terms of demographics, it's a bit worse than the European Union in terms of Mohammedans.
Yeah,
so he has to appease them.
It's different though, isn't it?
They
just have a chunk where they're all together, aren't they? They're just not just mixed in everywhere, are they?
Yeah, funny enough, their chunk happens to be where all the desert is in Russia. Yeah. Funny that. So you see, all right. So this litany, right? With the permission of the prior, you see what they do. Yeah. So Mary was consecrated, King Louis XIII. The litany of Loreto, and I think Loreto's in Italy, had been chanted regularly in the Cathedral of Embrun. As reports of the apparitions took on greater expansion, Francois Grimaud, the magistrate of Avicon Valley, a good Catholic and a man of integrity, decided to conduct an investigation. After serious examination, he concluded that Benoit was not deceiving anyone, nor was she an impostor or mentally ill. He also observed that Benoit had not asked the lady to reveal her identity, so to speak. But, excuse me.
The Pope did, however, say that dipping bread in water, that's disgusting, you need to stop that.
Well, I think the Pope said, look, I'm going to give you a stipend so you can afford butter and cheese from now on. At the magistrate's request, although personally it cost her a great deal, Benoit was obliged to ask, "My good lady, I know the people in this place are hard to hang on. Hard
up? Is it like
hard put to know who you are? Oh, hard. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm struggling to follow the lines because the glass is making things. I'm still not used to it. I and the people in this place are hard put to know who you are. Might you not be the mother of our good God? Please be so kind as to tell me, and we will build a chapel here to honor you." The heavenly apparition replied that there was no need to build anything there because she had chosen a more pleasant spot. Then she added, "I am Mary, the mother of Jesus. You will not see me here anymore, nor for some time." Benoit did not see her heavenly mistress.
You won't see me anymore, nor for some time.
You won't see me here anymore, nor will you see me for some time. Maybe it's an old turn of medieval French. Yeah. So she didn't see her for a month after that. This cast her into such profound sorrow that without assistance of heaven she would not have survived. Ooh. On the 29th of September 1664, on the other side of the stream, halfway up the hill that led to Laos, she recognised the Blessed Virgin. "Oh, good mother," she exclaimed, "why did you deprive me of the joy of seeing you for so long?" And then she crossed to the swollen stream and threw herself at the feet of the Queen of Heaven. The Blessed Virgin made this reply, "From now on, you will see me only in the chapel that is in Laos." And Mary showed her the path that went up and over the hill towards Laos, the village the young girl heard about but never visited, as she actually lived in the village of Saint-Étienne d'Avicon. In 1640, some pious mountain people had built a little chapel dedicated to Our Lady, Notre Dame de Bonne Rencontre, so Our Lady of the Good Encounter, deep in the solitude of Laos. They had done so for the purpose of gathering there to pray when the high water would prevent them from going to the parish church in Saint-Étienne. Exteriorly, the humble thatch roof structure looked like all the other small houses, just over 2 meters square. It had a plaster altar whose only ornaments were 2 wooden candlesticks and a pewter ciborium, whatever that one of those is. That is where the Queen of Heaven awaited the young shepherd girl as a new stable of Bethlehem. Since Benoit had never heard of the chapel, the next day she searched a long time for it in tears, going here and there, sometimes wandering away for a moment. She stopped at the entrance of each poor dwelling, trying to detect the sweet fragrance. Finally, she detected it near a door left ajar. Entering, she found the beautiful lady standing on the dust-covered altar. Standing on the altar? "My daughter, you have searched diligently for me, and you should not have wept. Even so, you pleased me by not being impatient." Benoit humbly accepted this remark and then noticed with sadness the pitiful condition of the altar. "Honourable lady, would you like me to spread my apron upon you under your feet? It is very white." "No, Soon nothing will be lacking here, neither vestments, nor altar linens, nor candles. I'm not doing a voice for Mary. I want a large church built on this spot, along with a building for a few resident priests. The church will be built in honour of my dear son and myself. Here many sinners will be converted. I will appear to you often here. Build a church, exclaimed Benoit. There's no money for that here. Do not worry. When the time comes to build, you will find all you need, and it will not be long. The pennies of the poor will provide for everything. Nothing will be lacking. Throughout the winter of 1664 and 65, in spite of 4 kilometres that separate the village of...
for our current government. Am I right, kids?
Yeah, see? This story from like nearly 400 years ago is still relevant today.
Won't be lucky. We can always squeeze the poor for a few quid.
You know what? We've only read like half of this story, and it's beautiful, and I really do want to know what happened later to this chapel, but we are up for time this week.
I just noticed it's flown by this week, isn't it?
Do you know the figures? When it's talking about Marian apparitions, time doesn't seem to matter. Yeah. And I don't think time matters for people in heaven, because they experience time differently. Now, here's something, I'll just finish with this, right? I have often been troubled by the time of eternity, because to me, like, eternity just sounds like you've got to be something more than man, because man cannot cope with eternity. Yeah. And indeed, like, from what I've heard from these theologians, they're saying that, well, yeah, you see, you experience all time at once in heaven, and therefore, when heaven comes to earth, that time which for us is in the future has already happened. Because it's, again, like, they don't experience time in a linear fashion like we do. And that was what my friend said, because I said, how can you cope with eternity? Regardless of how nasty or nice it is, eventually you just go mad with boredom. And he says, well, they must not experience time in a linear fashion. They must, because I said, well, does that mean they've got, like, memories of the past and things? He says, well, no, it's more a case of, like, well, take, for example, a tape versus a hard drive. The hard drive can access the information at random, at will, when it's requested. The tape has to do it sequentially. Now, we are sequential, so the sequence of next week, we'll have to talk more about our beautiful Lady of Laos.
Yeah. Good night, people. And
Good night, everybody.
Stay holy.
Yes.
I won't say stay spooky.
Stay Fortean.
Yeah. Charles Fort, he liked the Bible.
He certainly did.
Yeah.
He was a reverend, wasn't he?
Was he? No, it's just
We'll find out next week.
No, it's just a rich bloke.
Oh, I thought he was